Welcome back, everyone, to week 5 of our football educational video series for the 2024 season. Thanks, everyone, for taking the time to watch our week 4 video. And if there's any new viewers out there, appreciate you taking the time to watch our week 5 video. Last week, we had a heavy focus on mechanics. This week, we're going to get into some safety fouls. And so let's get into our plays for week 5. This week, just want to talk about how we as officials have to make quick decisions and judgment decisions on the field on almost every play. And on this play, we're going to have a potential forward or backward pass here to the line judge side. But the key about this is we're not going to get into whether it was forward or backwards because we don't have the greatest angle. What we're going to focus on here is see the line judge come onto the field giving the incomplete pass signal. This is a great job here, the line judge, making an immediate ruling. We don't have the luxury sometimes of time when we have to make split-second decisions. And when you could analyze this play slowly, on the video, but we don't have that luxury in the field. We don't have replay. We don't have the ability to delay the decision for a long period of time until we review it. So we make the decision on the field and we'll stick with our decision on the field by the official. And in this case, the line judge does a good job here. The plays here, we're going to focus on chop blocks and blocks below the waist because of the nature of them being a safety fouls. So we're going to focus on the player I've highlighted inside the circle here, and you can see him come out to block the defensive player. And you can see he crawls on the ground to get to that player. So the question here would be, would we rule this to be an immediate block? And it doesn't look like it's quite immediate because he has to crawl to get to that player. The second part of this, when we slow this down, we can see, first of all, does he make contact with the defensive player? And then we also, another offensive lineman coming over and blocking the defensive player up high at the same time that he is trying to block below the waist. And so we could potentially have a chop block here. But these plays happen quickly. We have to make this decision. And sometimes we have to look at it from the safety perspective and potentially drop a penalty marker on these plays because of the nature of the safety fouls. This play, we're going to again focus on blocking below the waist, and because it's a safety foul. And so we're going to talk about the free blocking zone. And we can see here the center location is I have indicated by the arrow. And so the free blocking zone extends laterally from the ball 4 yards. Now, how many players can be in that free blocking zone? So we have 3 indicated here by the arrows, and we can rule all 3 of these potentially inside that 4 yards from the ball if they have tight splits. Now, obviously, if they had wide splits, we may not rule that, but we can judge them to be in, and that's 3 of these linemen right here. But as we look, we do notice that we have a 4th player on the line of scrimmage outside those 3. And so we're not going to rule that he is inside that free blocking zone. We just can't get him tight enough in there to rule that. So we're going to say that in our area, in our association, that he is outside that free blocking zone, the 4th blocker. So this would be a real good focus for the wing official on that sideline to notice that and realize this player is too far out to be part of the legal requirements to block below the waist. But as we can see in this play, he does go down and block below the waist. We can't always count on our umpires to always see these type of illegal blocks. We have to help them out. All officials do, especially the wing officials on these tight ends or these offensive linemen blocking outside that area. Keep that in mind as we go into our next play. We're going to see this player right here highlighted inside the circle, a defensive player who is obviously by his location and position not eligible to block below the waist, and then his block is not immediate. As you can see here, he goes down on the offensive lineman and takes him out. Now, as we back this play up, we're going to notice that right at the point of attack or right at the point of the block, we're going to notice that the umpire is screened out by the offensive and defensive linemen in front of him. So he does not have the view to see this. But if we look down below here at the line judge, there is nothing impeding him from seeing this. So we need to be alert. We need to be aware of these potential blocks. And we see a player go low, we need to focus on that player and why are they going low. And if it's a block or they make contact, then obviously in this case it would be an illegal block below the waist. We cannot always rely, because I know we talk about the umpire having these blocks. The umpire is not going to be able to see all these blocks. And in this case, you can see he gets screened out. And so this is where a wing official or another official, depending on the circumstances, will have to help the umpire out and be ready and prepared to rule on these types of blocks and get a marker down when we have a block like this. The next play, we're going to focus on the players I have inside the circle, the two offensive linemen and the defensive player. And we're going to talk about Rule 238, which is a chop block, which is a combination block of two players from the same team, one an opponent, one high, one low. And we can see here one goes high to block, one goes low. And this, by definition, is illegal under Rule 9, Section 3. A player shall not chop block or clip. So on these types of plays, we need to be observant for this type of action. And wing officials also need to focus on this, especially when it occurs on the end of the line. We can help the umpire out here if we observe this action and look for this type of illegal chop block. Be observant for this and get a marker down when you observe this. This player focus will be on the two players I have highlighted inside the circle. And we're actually going to look at these players after the play is actually over because we're going to have a touchdown run here by the offense. And after the play is over, we're going to see action by these two players over there around the 15-yard line away from the play. So we can see them on the ground here, and we can see a great job here by our umpire who recognizes this and immediately goes towards us to break it up. And then we have a flag thrown both by our headlinesman and umpire who come together to discuss what happened so that we can communicate that to our referee. That's how we need to be on these plays. Number one, this is a great job of dead ball officiating by these two officials, especially the umpire recognizing that action over there and immediately charging toward it to break it up. Number two, you can see the two officials coming together after the play to discuss what they observed so that we can get it properly enforced. Good job. Our focus will be on the receiver I've highlighted inside the circle, and we're actually going to look at the action after the play is over. This receiver is going to go downfield. There's going to be a pass thrown to them, and it's going to fall incomplete. And then that's when what we're focused on in this play happens. So we see the ball go down, incomplete. Players come down right here. We're going to watch the receiver, and you're going to see it. He's going to throw his left elbow into the defensive player. The back judge recognizes this and appropriately gets his penalty marker down. This is a great job here by the back judge on staying on the play and dead ball officiating. These types of things, if let go or missed, could escalate and create problems later in the game. So we want to appropriately flag them when we observe them so that we can do a good job of preventing officiating and hopefully keep things from escalating. Good job here. On this play, we're going to talk about illegal participation rule 9-6, article 4, and we're going to look inside the gold circle. I've highlighted this defensive player here. Now, the rule indicates that a defensive player whose helmet comes off can only continue to participate in the immediate action. And after he is disengaged from that action, he can no longer participate. As you can see here, though, after the immediate action, he continues to pursue the runner downfield. This is a good job here by the umpire recognizing this. As you can see, the umpire gets a penalty marker down. The other part of this play is ideally we would like to have seen what caused his helmet to come off to see if it was legal or illegal action. This can sometimes be challenging, but be alert if the player's helmet comes off and he continues to pursue the play, it's illegal participation. Also, if the runner's helmet with the ball comes off, we would immediately stop this play because it is a safety foul, so we will shut the play down. In this play, we're going to again focus on safety, 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 safety. This is a pop-up kick. By definition, a ball driven off the tee immediately into the ground goes into the air as a pop-up kick. This is a dead ball foul. We want to stop the play immediately. Shut this play down because this, again, is a safety foul. Be alert for these on kickoffs. Be ready for these and be prepared to have a pop-up kick or an onside kick. And then if the player, kicker, kicks the ball deep, then we can readjust, but we were ready for it and prepared for it. And that way, if they do it, we're on top of it. We don't want to let these plays continue and the action continue because that's where potentially we could have players get injured or so forth or hits that we don't need. So be ready for this type of play. Be ready for the pop-up kick on these kickoffs. Player focus will be actually after the play is over and the action there. So on this play, we're going to see a pass play on the line judge side of the field that results in a touchdown for the offense. And we're going to see by the actions of the defensive player that he feels that he is potentially fouled. I'm not going to get into whether this was an offensive pass interference or not. We do not have a quality look, and it's a judgment call on the field. I'm going to get into the actions of the coach here, and we're going to reference Rule 9, Section 8, non-contact, unsportsmanlike conduct by a non-player. Coach is a non-player. You can see here clearly he comes down almost to the 5-yard line and onto the field to protest the call. We are not going to permit coaches to come out onto the field or outside the team box to protest our call because the rules support us that this is unsporting behavior. This coach needs to be held accountable for his actions. You can see here that the referee will throw a flag on this. This is a good job of recognizing this and appropriately flagging this and holding this coach accountable for his unsporting like conduct. We want to keep our coaches inside their team boxes and prevent them from coming on the field. When they do not follow those rules, then we will appropriately flag them for their conduct if it is inappropriate or unsporting. Be alert for this. We want to do our best to keep the coaches inside their team boxes and prevent this type of action. If we cannot prevent this type of action, then we need to appropriately flag it as indicated here on this play. Good job. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watching this week's Week 5 video. Hope the information in this video was helpful for you and hope you learned something. Until next time, take care and have a great game.